Alright guys, welcome back. I reckon we might be able to finish this off with this last video. So one other thing that you might want to do is you might want to modify the existing sheet without having to totally rebuild it. So if we look at the Glassstaff NPC and we've got all these different attributes down here, we want to maybe delete one of them and we want to replace it with something else, or delete one and add something else in here. So say we've got sensors here and we want to add, doesn't make sense, but we're going to put location above sensors. So we're going to add another field in here called location, and we're going to get rid of condition immune, whatever this is here, right? So I'm going to get rid of this field and we're going to add a new field and we're going to put it in between here. So what we want to do is start with the XML. So what we might remember is from our NPC that we've got the outside window class is NPC, and we had an existing window class in a sub-window, and we had one here called NPC header. Now we added a couple of extras. We had one called text that wasn't really a sub-window. We've turned it into a sub-window, and then we added the journal one and the people one. But what we've got one is here an existing one called NPC combat. So it's called NPC combat. So we're going to recreate NPC combat in the wizard. What we're going to do, we're going to shortcut the process. We're going to take one of these existing ones. Text was the simplest one, and we're going to create a copy. And we're going to rename this to be the same as what's in the XML, which is NPC combat. So we change this one and we call it NPC combat. Alright, and we're going to get rid of the elements on here. Now we're going back to the XML and we're going to find that condition immune. So it's made up of two items. There's condition immunities label, and condition immunities is the other object. One's a label column, one's a string column, NPC special def. Right? We're going to delete these. To delete these, we need their names. So we'll grab that name. We'll go back to this window class. The first thing we're going to do is actually make this merge join over here, and we're going to add two generic controls, and we've got our custom control. Right, put this one up here, doesn't matter really where we put it, and we'll put it 0, 0 just to make it neat. We'll make it a bit smaller, keep it out of the way, and we're going to give it a name, and the merge will be delete. So merge equals delete. So we're going to delete the object called condition immunities label, and we're going to copy that, and we'll create another one, and it was called condition immunities. Let's just double check that in the XML, condition immunities. Just make sure the spelling is correct. Paste it in there. Right, it's also set to delete. So when we load this up, those two should disappear from the NPC record. So we'll reload the table. Okay, we open up Glassstaff. Alright. Haha. Attempt to index global text. Okay, that's the script. Okay, we'll come back and look at that. We should find that condition immunities down here has been deleted. Alright, now we'll have a look at that script error, but for the moment condition immunities was between damage and sensors, and it's no longer there. Now the reason we have that error is because I've got this script error here where we're locking the text record. The text record doesn't exist, so it throws an error. So we'll get rid of that. The next thing we want to do is we want to add two new controls. So if we add a label, put it here, and we add a string field, and the string field is here. If we select those two, we line them up vertically just for neatness, we need to give these names. So the first one we're going to call this, the text will be location. It will be called location label. And the second one, this will be called location. But what we need to do here is something a little tricky. Location. So the first thing we want to do is we need to set these to use the correct templates. We look at our XML. The first one, it's called a label column, and the other one is this long one. Let's copy label column. Alright, so we make our label. We go to the advanced template, paste that in there. And then this one here, we need to get the XML again. And we want this string column NPC special def. That's a template. It's got all sorts of fancy coding in there. And rather than us recreating any of that coding, we just simply apply the template to it. Alright, now if we just push this, these are going to just appear in our NPC record in totally the wrong spot. What we want to do is select these, and we want to do insert before control over here. So where do we want these to go? Let's put them above saving throws. Let's turn debug on, and saving throws label is called saving throws underscore label. Saving throws underscore label, and this one is called saving throws. So let's check the XML to see which of these appears first. Saving throws label or saving throws. Go up here, so we've got saving throws label and then saving throws. So we want to insert before saving throws label. So we find this insert before control. Now that will kind of work, but it still won't work because we've got an X and Y position. These are positioned on the page. So what we have to do, there's another field up here which is inherit size and position. And we check that true, and that means it won't publish this X and Y position, and it'll let Fairness and Grounds work it out based on these templates, based on where we're inserting it in the control. So if we send that, and we reload our table, and we fire up Glassstaff, we find that location. It lines up, the formatting is correct here. This location field is correct here. Alright, we've got an underline, we can remove that easily. That's no big deal. We just change the underline field to a 0, or not to 0, to blank, and that'll remove that. Our condition immunities has been removed, so we've been able to edit this page without having to redefine it all. And this is a big page. There's so much so many controls and stuff in here. We definitely don't want to redo that. What we might still have to do is add the code in here to lock this. Right? How are we going to do that? Looks like we need to, because it's left all of them unlocked. Our code has broken that. So let's fix that up. Alright, what we want to do is we have to add some code in here. Something like alright, put that in there, get rid of this one, fix up tabs. Okay, so what this does is, if we create a new function on init, it will overwrite the previous one. And what we've got in here is, we're going to run our update, which is going to lock our new record called location. And then it's going to go back with this super on init. It's going to go back and run the on init of the window class that we're merging into. So then it should run the lock commands on the rest of those records. Hopefully that will work. Okay, why don't we just tidy this one up as well. We'll get rid of the underline offset. And let's push that out and see what result we get. Another reload. Alright, NPC Glassstaff. Okay, sweet. The locked records are working. This is all locked. We unlock it. We can fill in the record here. In the dungeon, and lock that record, and it's sweet. Okay, there's possibly some formatting here where we've inherited a field that is slightly positioned over, but that's something that we can tweak and play with, dig into it. So what did we do? We've deleted a record from here, we've inserted a record in a specific position, we've updated the locking codes. Our other page, we converted the other page into a stuck it into a sub-window so that it more easily worked with these other sub-windows, and it locks and unlocks cleanly. We created a new tab called with our journal, and it's got a formatted text field, and it's got a diary. In this case, we're using notes to drag into here. Then we've also created a people tag where we can drag allies and enemies in, and all of these things resize cleanly. So I think that that's hopefully everything that we need for this sample extension. I'm just going to show you one last feature in the Ruleset Wizard, and that is if you want to see the XML of something that you've created, right? So this NPC combat, there's a view XML source code here. We open that up, and it's going to load this page in our code editor, and we can see the actual code here. We can see what it is. I can't edit this, or I can edit this, but it's not going to feed back into the Ruleset Wizard. But I can look at this and see what the code is that's been generated from the wizard, and I can compare that to the code in Fantasy Grounds and see if that might give me clues to where I'm going wrong. We can see here condition immunities label, delete, condition immunities, delete, and then our new ones, we've got insert before saving throws label. We can see there's no positioning in them. Alright, there's no positioning data in there. So these are being positioned based on the insert before and inheriting the other properties of this label column and string column NPC special def. Alright, I think I'm going to wrap this series up, this tutorial series. I hope it's useful. Ask as many questions as you like, and we'll try and help you with them all. Thanks very much.